What if the Roosevelt dime in your pocket could be worth far more than just 10 cents? Today, we're looking at some of the rarest and most valuable United States Roosevelt dimes ever discovered. From incredible mint errors to famous no-S-proof dimes that have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, you'll learn what makes these coins so special and how to check your own collection. Stay until the end to discover the key features that could make an ordinary-looking dime an extraordinary collectible. Let's get started. First up, the most talked-about modern American coins, the 1965 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark, in uncirculated condition. At first glance, it appears to be just another 10-cent coin, but collectors know that certain examples can command impressive prices. In this video, we'll uncover the fascinating history behind the 1965 Roosevelt dime, explain why these coins have become so desirable, reveal the unique features that make some specimens exceptionally valuable, and discuss how the finest examples have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. Stay with us until the end, because one tiny detail could make all the difference in determining whether your coin is worth only 10 cents or an extraordinary amount. The story of the 1965 Roosevelt dime begins during one of the biggest changes in United States coinage history. In the early 1960s, the U.S. experienced a severe coin shortage. Rising silver prices caused people to save silver coins instead of spending them, creating a nationwide circulation problem. To solve this issue, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965, eliminating silver from circulating dimes and quarters. Beginning in 1965, Roosevelt dimes were struck using a copper core sandwiched between outer layers of copper nickel, instead of the traditional 90% silver composition. This marked the beginning of a new era in American coinage, and made the 1965 Roosevelt dime one of the most historically significant modern coins ever produced. One of the most interesting characteristics of the 1965 Roosevelt dime is the complete absence of a mint mark. Many collectors mistakenly believe that a coin without a mint mark is automatically rare, but the truth is more fascinating. During 1965, the United States Mint intentionally removed mint marks from all circulating coins, regardless of whether they were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Officials hoped this policy would discourage collectors from hoarding newly issued coins. Therefore, every regular 1965 Roosevelt dime lacks a mint mark. However, while the missing mint mark itself is normal, certain coins with exceptional quality, unusual errors, or extraordinary preservation have become highly valuable today. The obverse features the familiar portrait of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, designed by chief engraver John R. Sinnock. Roosevelt's image symbolizes leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, while honoring his support of the March of Dimes campaign against polio. Around the portrait are the inscriptions "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date 1965. On the reverse appears a torch representing liberty, an olive branch symbolizing peace, and an oak branch representing strength. Together, these elements create one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history, and collectors carefully examine every detail for exceptional strike quality and preservation. Although more than 1.8 billion Roosevelt dimes dated 1965 were produced, very few survive in truly pristine uncirculated condition. Most entered circulation immediately and accumulated scratches, contact marks, and wear over decades of use. Finding a coin that still displays blazing mint luster, razor-sharp details, and virtually no imperfections is becoming increasingly difficult. Professional grading services use a numerical scale from mint state 60 through mint state 70. As the grade increases, rarity and market value often rise dramatically. A difference of only one grade point can sometimes increase the coin's value several times over. Collectors searching for valuable 1965 Roosevelt dimes pay special attention to unique features. Brilliant original mint luster is one of the most desirable characteristics. Strongly struck hair details above Roosevelt's ear, crisp lettering, sharp torch lines, and well-defined leaves all indicate superior striking quality. Coins free of discoloration, fingerprints, scratches, and cleaning marks are especially attractive. Some collectors also seek examples displaying colorful natural toning, which can add beauty and increase collector demand when the toning is original and appealing. Another reason some 1965 Roosevelt dimes achieve remarkable prices is the presence of mint errors. Error coins are accidental variations created during the minting process. These include off-center strikes, doubled dies, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, and dramatic strike-through errors. While ordinary 1965 dimes remain common, certified error coins can attract intense competition from collectors. Depending on the rarity and visibility of the error, market values can range from several $100s to several $1,000s, making these unusual coins exciting discoveries. Professional grading plays a major role in determining market value. Organizations such as PCGS and NGC authenticate coins and assign official grades that collectors trust. A certified Mint State 67 or Mint State 68 Roosevelt dime is far scarcer than lower-grade examples because very few coins survived in nearly flawless condition. Coins receiving the coveted full bands designation, indicating exceptionally sharp horizontal bands across the torch on the reverse, are especially desirable. Full bands examples demonstrate an outstanding strike and often command substantial premiums compared with ordinary uncirculated pieces. Current market values vary depending on condition, certification, eye appeal, and collector demand. A typical circulated 1965 Roosevelt dime is generally worth only face value. Nice uncirculated examples may sell for several dollars. Better certified Mint State examples frequently reach tens or even hundreds of dollars. Premium quality coins graded MS67 full bands can sell for several $100s, while exceptionally preserved specimens graded MS68 or higher have realized prices reaching into the thousands of dollars at major auctions. Exceptional mint error examples may also achieve similar or even higher values depending on their rarity and collector interest. Many people wonder how they can identify a valuable 1965 Roosevelt dime at home. Start by examining the coin under bright lighting with a quality magnifying glass. Look for brilliant original luster rather than dull surfaces. Check for unusually sharp details on Roosevelt's hair and the reverse torch. Inspect the coin carefully for doubling in the lettering or date, unusual strike characteristics, or mint errors. Avoid cleaning the coin under any circumstances, as cleaning often reduces collector value significantly. If your dime appears nearly perfect or displays an unusual error, professional grading may be worth considering. The popularity of the Roosevelt dime series continues to grow because it combines historical significance, affordability, and the thrill of searching for hidden treasures. Unlike many classic American coins that cost thousands of dollars to collect, Roosevelt dimes remain accessible to beginners while still offering exciting opportunities to discover valuable varieties. Every year collectors search through old coin collections, bank rolls, estate sales, and inherited coin jars hoping to uncover exceptional 1965 examples that have remained unnoticed for decades. Auction records demonstrate how dramatically quality influences price. Two coins struck on the same day can have vastly different values simply because one has fewer contact marks, stronger luster, sharper details, or a higher certified grade. Collectors compete aggressively for the finest known examples because registry-set competitions encourage ownership of the highest graded coins available. This demand has helped push prices for elite condition Roosevelt dimes into impressive territory, proving that even modern coins can become extraordinary collectibles. For investors and collectors alike, the 1965 Roosevelt dime represents more than just pocket change. It marks the transition from America's silver coinage era to modern clad coinage, making it an important historical milestone. As time passes, pristine survivors become increasingly scarce because accidental damage, improper storage, and circulation continue reducing the number of top-quality examples. This combination of historical importance and condition rarity keeps collector interest strong and supports premium values for exceptional coins. If you own a 1965 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark, don't assume it's ordinary until you've examined it carefully. While most examples remain common, an uncirculated coin with exceptional preservation, full bands details, or a genuine mint error could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars in today's collector market. The next remarkable discovery could already be sitting inside an old coin album, family inheritance, forgotten piggy bank, or even a jar of spare change waiting to be recognized. That's one of the reasons coin collecting remains such an exciting hobby. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story comes with an incredible value next up. The 1967 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary 10-cent coin that millions of people have carried in their pockets, but appearances can be deceiving. Some 1967 dimes have surprised collectors by selling for hundreds and even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition, strike quality, and rare mint errors. In today's video, we'll uncover the complete history of this coin, explore its unique features, explain why it has no mint mark, discuss the rare varieties collectors search for, and reveal how much these coins can be worth in today's market. If you have an old coin jar at home, you may want to check it carefully because your next valuable collectible could already be sitting in your collection. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt was widely admired for leading the United States through the Great Depression and most of World War II. He also strongly supported the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis, later known as the March of Dimes, making it especially fitting that his portrait would appear on the dime. By 1967, the United States Mint was facing a nationwide coin shortage, causing major changes in coin production. Millions of dimes were produced quickly to meet public demand, and this unusual period in U.S. mint history created some interesting varieties that collectors still study today. One of the biggest questions collectors ask is why the 1967 Roosevelt dime has no mint mark. The answer lies in a special decision made by the U.S. Mint between 1965 and 1967. During those years, mint marks were intentionally removed from all circulating coins in an effort to discourage collectors from pulling new coins out of circulation. This means every regular 1967 Roosevelt dime was struck without a mint mark regardless of whether it was produced in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Because of this, the absence of a mint mark alone does not make the coin rare, but certain exceptional examples certainly can be. The obverse features a detailed portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left. Surrounding his image are the inscriptions "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date 1967. The reverse displays a torch representing liberty, an olive branch symbolizing peace, and an oak branch representing strength. Around the edge appears the inscription United States of America, one dime, and the national motto EPLURBUSUNUM. Although the design seems simple, collectors closely inspect every detail, because even small differences in strike quality or errors can significantly affect value. The 1967 Roosevelt dime was struck from a copper-nickel-clad composition rather than the earlier 90% silver alloy. Each coin weighs approximately 2.27 grams, measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge. Since silver dimes ended after 1964, many people mistakenly believe their 1967 dime contains silver. In reality, normal circulation strikes do not contain silver. However, collectors still pay impressive premiums for coins with exceptional preservation or rare minting mistakes. Not every 1967 Roosevelt dime is valuable, but some become highly desirable because of extraordinary quality. Coins with brilliant original surfaces, full torch details on the reverse, sharp strikes, and little or no wear often receive high grades from professional grading services. Higher grades are extremely difficult to achieve because most coins entered circulation immediately. As a result, certified mint state examples become increasingly scarce as the grade rises, making them attractive to advanced collectors. Mint errors are among the biggest reasons a 1967 Roosevelt dime can become valuable. Collectors search for doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, missing clad layers, wrong planchet errors, and dramatic strike-throughs. These mistakes occurred during the minting process and make each affected coin unique. Depending on the type and severity of the error, values may range from a few $100s to several $1,000s. When authenticated by professional grading companies, today's market shows a wide range of prices for the 1967 Roosevelt dime. A heavily circulated example is generally worth only face value. Attractive uncirculated coins may sell for $10 to $50, while premium mint state pieces can bring $100 to several $100s. Certified coins in the highest grades have sold for well over $1,000, especially when they display exceptional eye appeal or rare characteristics. Error coins with dramatic mint mistakes can also command prices reaching several $1,000s depending on rarity and collector demand. Professional grading plays a major role in determining value. Organizations such as PCGS and NGC carefully examine a coin's condition, originality, strike quality, and surface preservation before assigning an official grade. A difference of just 1 or 2 grading points can dramatically increase market value. For this reason, many collectors choose to have exceptional 1967 dimes professionally authenticated before selling them. Collectors especially admire coins with strong luster, crisp lettering, fully defined torch bands, smooth surfaces, and minimal contact marks. These qualities make a coin stand out among millions of ordinary examples. Some collectors also look for attractive natural toning, which can create beautiful shades of blue, gold, violet, or rainbow colors. Although toning does not always increase value, exceptional natural colors often attract premium offers from experienced buyers over the years. Several outstanding 1967 Roosevelt dimes have achieved remarkable auction prices. Coins graded at the highest mint state levels have realized more than $1,000, while spectacular era coins have sold for even higher amounts. These impressive sales demonstrate that modern coins should never be overlooked. Even a common-date coin can become a valuable collectible when it possesses extraordinary quality or a rare mint era. If you own a 1967 Roosevelt dime, begin by examining it under bright lighting with a magnifying glass. Look carefully for doubling in the lettering, unusual strike characteristics, off-center designs, clipped edges, missing metal layers, or other obvious mint errors. Avoid cleaning the coin because cleaning can significantly reduce collector value. Store promising examples in protective holders, and consider professional grading if the coin appears to be in exceptional condition. The excitement surrounding the 1967 Roosevelt dime continues because valuable discoveries are still possible. Millions of these coins remain in circulation: coin jars, old collections, estate sales, and bank rolls. Every year, collectors report finding high-grade examples and unusual mint errors that had gone unnoticed for decades. This ongoing possibility keeps interest in the coin alive and encourages collectors of all experience levels to keep searching. Although no coin can guarantee future profits, high-quality certified Roosevelt dimes and genuine mint-era examples continue to attract strong collector demand. As more top-condition coins enter permanent collections, the finest surviving examples may become even harder to obtain. Coins with documented rarity, outstanding preservation, and professional certification often remain the most desirable among serious numismatists. The 1967 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark is a fascinating reminder that valuable collectibles can sometimes hide in plain sight. While most examples are worth only 10 cents, exceptional mint state coins and authentic mint-era varieties have achieved values ranging from hundreds to thousands of dollars. The key is careful examination, proper identification, and professional authentication when appropriate. So before you spend that old dime, take a closer look. You might be holding a remarkable piece of American coin history. Next up, the Roosevelt dime has been a familiar part of American pocket change for generations, but one particular issue continues to attract the attention of collectors around the world: the 1960-90 Roosevelt dime. While millions of these coins were struck at the Denver Mint, and most examples remain common, a small number stand out because of rare minting errors, exceptional preservation, or unique characteristics. These special pieces have sold for hundreds, and in some extraordinary cases, thousands of dollars. If you have an old jar of coins or inherited a collection, the 1960-90 Roosevelt dime is definitely worth examining carefully, because one overlooked coin could turn out to be far more valuable than its face value of just 10 cents. The story of the Roosevelt dime began shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1945. Roosevelt was widely admired for leading the United States through the Great Depression and much of World War II. Because of his strong connection with the March of Dimes campaign that fought polio, the U.S. Mint honored him by replacing the Mercury dime with the Roosevelt dime in 1946. Since then, the coin has remained in continuous production and has become one of the most recognizable circulating coins in American history. By 1969, the Roosevelt dime was already an important part of everyday American commerce, with the Denver Mint producing millions to meet the nation's growing demand. The 1960-90 Roosevelt dime was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small d mint mark found on the obverse of the coin just above the date. The coin is composed of a copper core covered by layers of copper nickel, because silver had been removed from circulating dimes beginning in 1965 due to rising silver prices. Although millions were minted, collectors know that not every 1960-90 dime is equal. Certain coins escape the mint with unusual errors, while others survive decades with almost no wear. These factors are what create significant value in today's collector market. At first glance, the design appears simple yet elegant. The obverse features a detailed portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left, along with the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, the date 1969, and the Denver Mint mark. The reverse displays a torch symbolizing liberty, an olive branch representing peace, and an oak branch standing for strength. Around the outer edge are the words United States of America, 1 dime, and EPLURBUSUNUM. Collectors carefully inspect every detail of this design because even tiny differences or striking abnormalities can dramatically affect value. One of the most important features that determines the value of a 1969 Roosevelt dime is its overall condition. A rough or heavily circulated coin generally carries only its face value unless it contains a rare mint error. Scratches, rim damage, corrosion, heavy wear, or environmental damage reduce collector demand. However, it is important to remember that even a rough-looking coin should never be dismissed immediately. Some rare minting errors remain valuable regardless of condition, making every old dime worth a closer inspection before spending or selling it. Collectors pay especially close attention to mint errors found on 1969 dimes. These include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, die breaks, struck-through errors, double strikes, and dramatic misalignments. A genuine error coin is much rarer than an ordinary circulated dime and often commands strong premiums. Depending on the rarity of the error and the coin's condition, values may range from approximately $100 to well over $2,000, with spectacular examples bringing even more when sold through major coin auctions. Another characteristic that greatly increases value is the presence of full bands on the torch located on the reverse. Professional grading companies use the full bands designation for coins showing complete, sharply struck horizontal bands across the torch. These fully detailed examples indicate exceptional strike quality and are highly sought after by advanced collectors. A 1969 Roosevelt dime graded mint state with full bands can sell for several $100s, and top-grade certified examples have reached prices well into the thousands because of their scarcity. Professional grading is another major factor influencing price. Organizations such as PCGS and NGC examine coins for authenticity, preservation, and strike quality. A coin graded M-65, M-66, M-67, or higher becomes increasingly rare. High-grade examples are difficult to find because most 1969 dimes entered circulation immediately after leaving the mint. As the grade increases, so does collector demand, causing prices to rise dramatically for coins that remain virtually untouched after more than 5 decades. Many people assume that older coins are automatically valuable, but rarity is determined by much more than age. The 1969 Roosevelt dime is common in circulated grades, yet truly exceptional examples are surprisingly scarce. This difference explains why one coin may be worth only 10 cents while another, produced in the same year and at the same mint, could sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Small details such as strike sharpness, original mint luster, eye appeal, and certified grade often make the difference between an ordinary coin and an investment-quality collectible. Today's coin market continues to show strong interest in high-quality Roosevelt dimes. Collectors actively search online marketplaces, major auction houses, coin shows, and dealer inventories for premium examples. A typical circulated 1969 dime usually remains worth face value, while lightly circulated examples may sell for only a small premium. Mint state coins often range from approximately $10 to over $100 depending on grade. Certified high-grade full bands examples may sell from several $100s into the thousands, while unusual authenticated mint errors can also achieve impressive auction prices depending on their rarity and visual appeal. If you discover a 1969 Roosevelt dime in rough condition, begin by examining it under good lighting with a magnifying glass. Look for doubling in the lettering, unusual strike characteristics, clipped edges, off-center designs, die cracks, or other abnormalities. Avoid cleaning the coin because cleaning can permanently damage its surface and significantly reduce collector value. If you believe the coin displays an unusual feature, consider having it authenticated by a professional grading service before attempting to sell it. Collectors also appreciate original mint luster, which is the brilliant shine created during the striking process. Even after decades, some coins stored carefully in rolls or collections retain this attractive appearance. Coins with bright surfaces, strong details, minimal contact marks, and excellent eye appeal generally receive higher grades and stronger prices. These qualities separate ordinary surviving coins from the finest known examples that become the centerpieces of advanced Roosevelt dime collections. Another reason the 1969 Roosevelt dime remains popular is that it represents an important period in modern American coinage. The late 1960s marked the transition away from silver circulating coins toward copper-nickel-clad coinage. For many collectors, this makes the 1969 issue an important historical reminder of changing economic conditions in the United States. Every coin carries a small piece of history, and collectors enjoy preserving these everyday artifacts for future generations. Before buying or selling a valuable Roosevelt dime, compare recent auction results, verify certification numbers, and study photographs of genuine high-grade examples. The coin market changes over time as collector demand increases or decreases, making current research extremely important. Certified coins generally inspire greater confidence among buyers because authenticity and condition have already been verified by respected grading companies. In conclusion, the 1960-90 Roosevelt dime proves that an ordinary-looking coin can sometimes become an extraordinary collectible. Although most rough-condition examples are worth only face value unless they feature a genuine mint error, rare varieties, certified full-band specimens, and exceptional mint-state examples have achieved prices ranging from hundreds to several thousands of dollars. The key is careful inspection, patience, and professional authentication. The next time you sort through loose change or an old coin collection, take a closer look at every 1960-90 Roosevelt dime. You may discover a hidden treasure that has been waiting to be recognized for more than half a century. Next up, the 1972 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark. At first glance, this small silver-colored coin may seem like nothing more than ordinary pocket change. Many examples are found in worn, dirty, or heavily circulated condition, leading people to overlook them completely. However, some collectors carefully examine every 1972 dime because certain examples with exceptional preservation, striking errors, or rare varieties have attracted impressive prices at auctions. In this video, we'll uncover the history of the 1972 Roosevelt dime, explain why it has become so popular among collectors, discuss the features that can increase its value, and reveal how some examples have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for before spending or cleaning your old dime. The Roosevelt dime has an important place in American history. It was first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who led the United States through the Great Depression and most of World War II. Roosevelt was also closely connected with the March of Dimes campaign, which raised funds to fight polio, a devastating disease during that era. Following his death in 1945, the United States Mint replaced the Mercury dime with the Roosevelt design to commemorate his remarkable legacy. The obverse of the coin features Roosevelt's portrait designed by John R. Sinnock, while the reverse displays a torch representing liberty, an olive branch symbolizing peace, and an oak branch standing for strength. These timeless symbols continue to appear on Roosevelt dimes today, making them one of America's longest-running coin designs. The 1972 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During that period, Philadelphia dimes normally did not carry a mint mark, making the absence of a mint mark completely normal for this issue. Millions of these coins entered circulation throughout the United States and were used daily for shopping, transportation, and countless ordinary transactions. Because of this enormous production, the majority of 1972 no-mint mark dimes remain common today and are generally worth only face value or a small premium in circulated condition. However, collectors never stop searching because among these millions of coins, a tiny number possess characteristics that make them highly collectible. One of the biggest mistakes new collectors make is assuming that every dirty or old coin is valuable. Dirt, discoloration, scratches, and heavy wear usually do not increase a coin's value. In fact, they often reduce it because collectors prefer coins with original surfaces. A dirty 1972 dime found in circulation is usually still worth only 10 cents unless it has another feature that makes it special. Experienced collectors recommend never cleaning old coins because cleaning can permanently damage the original finish and significantly reduce collector value. Instead, carefully examine the coin under good lighting or with a magnifying glass before making any decisions. So what exactly can make a 1972 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark valuable? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and mint errors. Coins struck with double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, wrong planchets, or dramatic strike-through errors can attract strong interest from collectors. Likewise, coins preserved in exceptionally high mint state grades with brilliant luster and virtually no wear are much scarcer than ordinary circulated examples. Professional grading services evaluate these characteristics, and the highest graded coins often command significant premiums because very few survive in outstanding condition after decades of circulation. Condition plays an enormous role in determining market value. A heavily circulated dime showing worn details, dark toning, and numerous scratches is usually common. On the other hand, a sharply struck coin with original mint luster, crisp lettering, and nearly flawless surfaces may be considered mint state. Professional grading companies such as PCGS and NGC use a numerical scale from 1 to 70, with M-65, M-66, M-67, and above representing premium quality examples. As the grade increases, the number of surviving coins decreases dramatically, and collectors become willing to pay substantially more for the finest known examples. Another exciting area for collectors is mint-era coins. During the minting process, machinery occasionally produces mistakes that escape into circulation. Some 1972 Roosevelt dimes have been discovered with dramatic off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die breaks, doubled lettering, or other unusual minting errors. These errors are genuinely scarce because they occur accidentally during production. When authenticated by a respected grading service, unusual error coins often attract competitive bidding from specialists who appreciate their rarity and uniqueness. Auction records have shown that exceptional 1972 Roosevelt dimes can achieve impressive prices. While ordinary circulated coins generally remain worth only face value, certified mint state examples with outstanding grades or spectacular mint errors have sold for hundreds of dollars. In especially rare cases involving top population grades or dramatic mint errors, auction prices have climbed into the thousands of dollars. These sales represent the very best examples rather than the typical coins found in circulation, highlighting the importance of professional authentication before assuming a coin has extraordinary value. Collectors should also pay attention to the details on the coin itself. Look closely at Roosevelt's hair, ear, cheek, and jawline for sharp definition. Inspect the date and lettering for doubling or unusual spacing. Examine the reverse torch, olive branch, and oak branch for strong details and any signs of striking abnormalities. The coin's rim should also be inspected for clips, missing sections, or off-center striking. Even subtle differences can sometimes identify an interesting variety or error worthy of further examination by an expert. One feature many collectors appreciate is attractive natural toning. Over decades, some Roosevelt dimes develop beautiful shades of blue, gold, purple, or rainbow colors due to natural oxidation. When this toning occurs naturally and remains undisturbed, it can make an otherwise ordinary coin more desirable to collectors. Artificial cleaning or chemical treatments, however, usually reduce value because experienced buyers can often recognize altered surfaces. Natural originality remains one of the most respected qualities in modern coin collecting. If you believe you found an unusual 1972 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark, the next step is careful evaluation. Compare it with certified examples, inspect it under magnification, weigh it if possible, and avoid handling it excessively. If the coin appears to display a genuine mint error or exceptionally high quality, submitting it to a professional grading service may be worthwhile. Certification provides authenticity, assigns an official grade, and often increases buyer confidence if you later decide to sell the coin. Today's market for Roosevelt dimes continues to grow as more collectors search through rolls, inherited collections, estate sales, and old coin jars. Online auctions, coin shows, and professional dealers regularly feature certified Roosevelt dimes, particularly those with rare errors or outstanding grades. Although most 1972 no-mint mark dimes remain inexpensive, the possibility of discovering a premium example keeps collectors excited. Every year, newly discovered high-grade or unusual error coins continue to appear, adding fresh interest to this classic American series. The most important lesson is to separate common coins from genuinely rare ones. A dirty appearance alone does not make a coin valuable, and the lack of a mint mark on a 1972 dime is normal because it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. However, if your coin combines exceptional preservation, a verified mint error, or another rare characteristic, it may be worth much more than its face value. Values can range from 10 cents for ordinary circulated pieces to hundreds, or in rare certified cases, thousands of dollars for extraordinary examples. Coin collecting is about more than money. Every Roosevelt dime tells a story about American history, commerce, and craftsmanship. A small coin that passed through countless hands over the past 5 decades can become a fascinating piece of history, especially when it preserves an unusual feature or survives in remarkable condition. Whether your 1972 Roosevelt dime turns out to be common or rare, examining it carefully is always worthwhile because knowledge is the collector's greatest tool. Next up, the 1970 Roosevelt dime is one of the most recognizable coins produced by the United States Mint during the late 20th century. Struck at the Denver Mint, and identified by the small D mint mark on the obverse beneath the date. This coin was created as part of the long-running Roosevelt Dime series that began in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Millions of Americans carried these dimes in their pockets without giving them a second thought, using them for everyday purchases, vending machines, and pocket change. Today, however, coin collectors know that while most 1970-90 dimes are common, certain exceptional examples, rare mint errors, and high-grade specimens can be worth far more than their face value. In some cases, these coins have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, making them exciting discoveries for collectors and treasure hunters alike. The history of the Roosevelt dime began shortly after President Franklin D. Roosevelt passed away in 1945. Roosevelt was admired for leading the United States through the Great Depression and World War II, and he also played an important role in supporting the March of Dimes campaign, which fought polio. In 1946, the U.S. Mint introduced the Roosevelt dime to replace the Mercury dime. Designed by chief engraver John R. Sinnock, the coin featured Roosevelt's portrait on the front and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. By 1979, the Roosevelt dime had become one of America's most familiar circulating coins, and the Denver Mint continued producing millions of them for commerce across the country. The 1970-90 Roosevelt dime was struck using a copper-nickel-clad composition that had been introduced in 1965 after the United States removed silver from circulating dimes. Each coin weighs approximately 2.27 grams, measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge with 118 tiny grooves around its circumference. Although these specifications remained consistent for millions of coins, collectors pay close attention to small differences in strike quality, luster, and preservation. Even two coins made on the same day can have dramatically different values depending on their condition and any unusual minting characteristics they may display. One of the easiest ways to identify this coin is by locating the small D mint mark. On the obverse of the coin, Roosevelt's portrait faces left, and beneath the date 1979 appears the tiny letter D, indicating the coin was struck at the Denver Mint in Colorado. Collectors should carefully examine this mint mark because it confirms the coin's origin. Although millions of 1970-90 dimes were produced, not every coin displays the same striking quality. Strongly struck examples with sharp details and brilliant surfaces are more desirable than weakly struck pieces that entered circulation immediately after leaving the mint. Many people wonder whether a 1970-90 Roosevelt dime in fine condition could be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. The honest answer is that a typical circulated fine-condition example usually remains worth only its face value of 10 cents because the Denver Mint produced more than 563 million examples. However, there are important exceptions. If the coin possesses a dramatic mint error, an unusual die variety, or another rare production defect, its value can increase significantly. Therefore, every collector should carefully inspect each coin before assuming it has little value. Unique features are what transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary collectible. Collectors search for doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, die breaks, cud errors, missing clad layers, wrong planchet strikes, and dramatic misalignments between the obverse and reverse. These mint errors occurred during production and often escaped into circulation before being discovered. Because genuine errors are much scarcer than normal coins, collectors may pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars for impressive examples depending on their rarity, eye appeal, and state of preservation. Another important factor affecting value is the coin's grade. Professional grading companies such as PCGS and NGC evaluate coins using the Sheldon grading scale from 1 to 70. A fine F-12 coin shows moderate wear but retains major design details. Extremely fine and about uncirculated examples display far more detail, while mint state coins have never entered circulation. A 1970-90 Roosevelt dime graded MS67 or higher with outstanding luster, nearly flawless surfaces, and an exceptional strike is much rarer than ordinary circulated examples. Such elite condition coins can command impressive premiums because very few survive in top grades. Collectors also prize full bands examples of Roosevelt dimes. On the reverse of the coin, the central torch contains two sets of horizontal bands. If these bands remain completely separated and fully defined, the coin may qualify for the desirable full bands designation. This indicates an exceptionally sharp strike from fresh dies. High-grade full bands examples are much scarcer than regular mint state coins and often bring substantially higher prices when certified by leading grading services. For advanced collectors building registry sets, these coins represent some of the most sought-after modern Roosevelt dimes. Current market values vary considerably depending on condition and rarity. A normal circulated 1970-90 Roosevelt dime in fine condition is generally worth only about $0.10 to a small premium. Uncirculated examples may sell for a few dollars, while certified mint state coins in very high grades can reach tens or even hundreds of dollars. Exceptionally preserved full-band specimens have sold for several $100s, and rare-era coins with dramatic minting defects have realized prices ranging from several $100s to well over $1,000 at auctions, depending on the specific era and collector demand. One of the biggest reasons collectors become excited about the 1970-90 Roosevelt dime is the possibility of discovering a rare mint era hidden among ordinary pocket change. Every year, collectors report finding off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, missing clad layers, and other unusual production mistakes. While these discoveries are uncommon, they remind collectors that valuable coins can still appear in circulation, inherited collections, old coin jars, bank rolls, and estate accumulations. Careful examination with a magnifying glass or microscope often reveals details that are invisible to the naked eye. If you believe you have an unusual 1970-90 Roosevelt dime, avoid cleaning or polishing it. Cleaning removes original surfaces and often reduces collector value significantly. Instead, handle the coin only by its edges and store it in a protective holder. If the coin appears to display an unusual mint error or possesses exceptional preservation, consider submitting it to a professional grading service for authentication and grading. Certified coins generally attract greater confidence among buyers because their authenticity and condition have been independently verified. The popularity of Roosevelt dimes continues to grow because they offer collectors an affordable way to build complete date and mint collections while still providing the excitement of discovering valuable rarities. The 1970-90 issue reminds collectors that value depends on far more than age alone. Strike quality, preservation, rarity, eye appeal, certification, and mint errors all influence market prices. Even though millions were struck, only a tiny percentage possess the characteristics that advanced collectors eagerly seek. As the coin market evolves, auction results continue to demonstrate that exceptional modern coins can achieve remarkable prices. Collectors today pay significant premiums for certified top population coins, spectacular mint errors, and outstanding full bands examples. While most 1970-90 Roosevelt dimes remain common, the rare pieces at the top of the quality spectrum continue attracting competitive bidding from collectors determined to own the finest known examples. This ongoing demand helps explain why certain specimens have achieved values in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Before spending any 1970-90 Roosevelt dime, take a few moments to examine it carefully. Check the D mint mark, inspect the surfaces for unusual errors, evaluate the sharpness of the torch bands, and look for outstanding luster or exceptional preservation. Although the odds of finding a high-value specimen are relatively low, remarkable discoveries do happen. Many famous collectible coins were once overlooked in everyday change before knowledgeable collectors recognized their importance. In conclusion, the 1970-90 Roosevelt dime represents much more than an ordinary 10-cent coin. It reflects American history, honors one of the nation's most influential presidents, and continues to fascinate collectors nearly 5 decades after its release. A standard fine-condition coin is generally not worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, but rare mint errors, certified high-grade examples, and full-band specimens can command impressive prices in today's collector market. That possibility keeps collectors searching through coin jars, bank rolls, and inherited collections every day, proving that even a small dime can sometimes become a remarkable treasure. Thanks for watching.